Hey everybody, since we were on the subject of Chinese stock scams with my video on SPU yesterday, I figured I would go ahead and bring up another situation with a small cap Chinese stock, HPJ, High Power International, that is also a little bit suspect. The stock popped today in about 25-30%. I shorted it a few times, made some money on it, and posted it on Twitter. But you can see that the reason for the pop was a press release they put out today that says here that on August 30th, Hong Kong High Power Technology entered into a non-binding cooperation framework with Anshan Cooperation Group, under which ACOC proposes to purchase newly issued shares of Shenzhen High Power Technology. And you see the details on it are RMB 540 million, or approximately US 80.7 million, an exchange rate of about $6.69. As a result of the purchase, ACOC would hold more than 50% of each PRC subsidiary. The framework agreement includes a 90-day exclusivity provision. So basically what you have here is a proposal to purchase shares, which really means nothing. Nothing is solidified. And the funny thing is, if you look a little more detailed into it, you'll see that the terms of the framework agreement supersedes the non-binding proposal from ACOC received by the company in November 2015. If you look back in November 2015, you actually have a very similar press release that was put out. And if you go through here, you can see Anshan Cooperation Group proposes again to purchase newly issued shares of Shenzhen High Power Technology. You go through here and it's basically the same thing. But what's happened is they've changed the verbiage a little bit, and you can see the numbers have changed some. So here RMB 650, approximately US 101 million, and the exchange rate 639 as opposed to the 669 they have in the new one. And you go through here a little closer, and again, the three subsidiaries in exchange for more than 50% of the equity of each of three subsidiaries to become the controlling shareholder. Well, so basically what you have here essentially is a recycled press release. What they did is they redid the press release with different numbers, changed up the wording a little bit, and they're going to use it, and it got the stock to pop 20-30%. Okay, nothing's really changed here. This was almost a year ago when this press release came out, and they're still talking about a proposal to purchase newly issued shares. Well, when's this actually going to happen? The answer is it's not going to happen. It didn't happen a year ago, and it's not going to happen now. It's just a doctored, recycled press release to raise the share price of the company. Another shady Chinese small cap stock situation. And you want to look out for things like this. I know a lot of traders will jump on it just because they see the volume pop and they see a PR. They don't really read through it carefully. So a lot of times they take the position first. Then if the stock goes against them, it doesn't go their way, they start reading through here carefully. Then they realize there's something shady about it. So be really careful about things like this and look out for them. You can definitely make some good money on the short side when you catch this kind of thing. All right. So let's take a look at the technicals on it. I shorted it up here around the $3 area, somewhere in that area. Got a pretty good entry on it. Then I saw it come down. Then I covered around support area, around the 270 area. Then when I saw it pop up again around 290, I knew there was some resistance established there, so I figured it wouldn't pop. So I caught it at 290 and I got out, made another small gain on it, but made a nice bit of change on it. And but you can see that it kind of held the 270 support area, and it formed that 290 resistance. And about at the close, you see it close right at that 290. So based on the situation here, based on the fact that it's just a doctored press release, it's the same old thing, the same proposal from before with different numbers, and nothing's likely to change on it. There's no reason this should have popped at all. So really the stock price should be back to where it was at the beginning of the day, which was about 245. So I'm going to put about a 245 price target on HPJ, and I am holding a short position overnight. So I'm looking for this thing to drop. I think it's going to bleed when people realize that there's really nothing to this press release at all, except from something from the past that has just been uh, been recycled and put out again, basically. So yeah, so just keep an eye on things like this. I still don't understand why it is that the United States exchanges allow shady small cap Chinese stocks like this to be on our exchange. It really doesn't make any sense. You've got a country that's overseas with companies that are overseas. There's no way that here in the United States we can check them out to make sure they're legitimate, like SPU, for example. Nobody's going over to China to check into this stuff. And all the exchanges are doing is they're just believing the information they're given. And a lot of times, the earnings and the press releases are just a bunch of baloney. It's just a bunch of fluff. I mean, hell, we don't even know for sure if these companies even have any operations. So I'm not saying this company doesn't, but we just don't know what's going on. So so be careful taking positions on these. But when you catch something like this, it can be a great opportunity for you on the short side. And obviously, I can't complain too much because these pumps are great opportunities to short and make money on the downside. Just don't get caught chasing it just to have a drop on you, and you don't want to catch a beating. All right. So if you have any other questions on HPJ, feel free to email me as always, bprising1@gmail.com. Definitely take a look at the website bprising.com, and feel free to join our team and get my stock alerts and learn all about my strategies. As always, I really appreciate everybody watching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.